But currently, AI is not useful from the tech standpoint for non-tech founders to actually build an application. So I think it is important whether you pay somebody or you already have a team or a tech partner, you need to bounce your ideas off with a designer as well as a technical person. You also need to have control on your accounts, whether it's on GoDaddy, it's on HostGator, wherever it is, you need to have control of it. All right, so we are going to be talking about today some common mistakes that non-technical founders make and how to go about not making these mistakes, right? So if you are thinking of launching a tech company or you are already, knee deep into it, remember this. There are many successful non-tech founders. Jack Ma, for example, from Alibaba, Brian Chesky of Airbnb, non-tech founders. Now, given all the hype with AI that is right now, and I have loads of content about how AI can help you with business ideation to marketing and everything, right? But currently, AI is not useful from the tech standpoint for non-tech founders to actually build an application. AI coding assistance and help is still only for the people who know how to code and who are programmers. So don't think there's something out there that you can get going right now. And even low-code tools for non-tech people could do it, but it's actually going to be very difficult because the learning curve is still going to be huge for you, and you will definitely lose that first mover advantage that you would do if you were able to get things out very, very quickly, with a dedicated tech team. Anyways, the first issue that I'm going to talk about that non-tech founders face is, of course, that they don't understand technical concepts. So understanding a bit of technical lingo, imagine, for example, you are in a meeting and they talk about backend architecture or APIs, and these words are all flying around and you have no idea and you're nodding your head, right? So a successful founder, a non-tech founder, will not just nod their head, they will ask questions and try to inquire a little bit further. And I would actually recommend get a basics of computer sciences course, just the very basics. But what I really want you to do is get an idea of what is front end, get an idea of what is back end, how the servers work, and how all of these things are integrated. I think this is what you really need to know. Then another aspect that non-tech founders really run into is that they don't really manage to keep their accounts with themselves. They may give it to their lead developer perhaps to get or manage their code. That's no. You need to learn how to manage code. You need to get a little bit idea about GitHub, how that is stored, how and when should code be updated and uploaded, so you have different versions and you can see how that is managed. You need to know that. You also need to have control on your accounts, whether it's on GoDaddy, it's on HostGator, wherever it is, you need to have control of it. Don't give blanket control and access to anybody. Having said that, I believe it's going to be difficult, especially when you are integrating different servers, cloud platforms. However, I think you need to have a good handle. Ask your tech team or tech partner what is happening, where is everything. Get a briefing every now and then so you know exactly what is all is happening. The next mistake I will talk about is that non-tech founders, they are looking to make technical decisions. You are not in a capacity, you don't have the ability to actually make tech decisions. It has to be somebody else. It has to be somebody that is aligned with your goal, who is a tech person. So just making decisions based on your understanding of how it should be is definitely not going to be useful, because there's so much going on, and whatever they want to talk about these days about AI making things nice and easy and smooth for everything. However, for the technical development applications, websites, mobile applications, everything else, it's still the realm of a technical person. You can't do it right now. Then the next issue is not having the right technical team, or actually waiting too late to talk to a tech person or hire a technical team. So when you are ideating, and you're ideating because you are most likely a subject matter expert, you know your field, you know the ins and outs, and you have an idea about how it's going to be done. I do believe that after you get off the tissue paper stage, right, at the back of the tissue paper or your notebook, right, after that stage, you definitely need to be in touch with a designer as well as with a developer, a technical person. Because when you are ideating, these people will be giving you feedback and ideas and concepts that you yourself probably did not have an idea about for your own industry, because they will be speaking about how you can actually make it better and make it more presentable from a product standpoint and from the development standpoint. So I think it is important whether you pay somebody or you already have a team or a tech partner, You need to bounce your ideas off with a designer as well as a technical person who will actually guide you and probably get you ideas you never thought about. So involve these people with these expertise earlier rather than later. Then the next issue and mistake that I've seen with non-tech founders is that they may have so many ideas, they may not be focusing on exactly what they want for their MVP because they're in the field and they can see numerous aspects. For example, I'm the physician, right? So I'm going to be talking about this thing is needed for the doctor, this thing is needed for the patient, this thing is needed for by the nursing staff, and I will have a difficult time focusing on the exact value that I want to provide in my minimum viable product. So you have to be very aligned. Your vision has to be crucially aligned, and this has to be communicated clearly with the developers in your spec sheet, in your documentation for what you want to build. And this actually leads us to managing product development. If you have product management and development skills, that is great. However, you are usually so enthusiastic. When I talk to non-tech founders, they could be all over the place. I know there's so much talk about agile methodologies of development. However, all studies have shown agile is good because this is what normally clients want, or possibly this is what the founder may want, that, hey, my tech team needs to be flexible. If I say make this change, they should be able to make this change. However, if you have things figured out, if you have your plan laid out, then I believe the best option of how you can develop a software is going through the waterfall technique. That means that you have everything laid out, and this is step one, this is step two, this is your goal, this is how you are going to be getting to your minimum viable product, and you will be looking to launch as soon as possible. Because if you always go to keep on changing things and making adjustments here and there, trust me, there's so many factors that are going to be coming up that you would want to actually keep on making changes, and your MVP that should take no more than, let's say, 2 months would extend out to 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and you will never get your product off the ground. So make sure you know what you want to do and you have everything written down. Of course, I agree there may be circumstances that you do need to make changes. However, the more you are aware and you have this written down clearly, Excel file, wherever it is, clearly the steps and the initial product, the initial MVP that you want to be out in the public for them to test, you need to have that out very clearly. Otherwise, you will be spending more time and more money getting your MVP out. Then probably the last issue that I've seen is that not communicating effectively with all the stakeholders, all the investors, and your broader team and the customers, that you are so busy with the tech side perhaps that you forget about serving the customer or finding more ways to serve your customer, build trust, build clarity. So the founder has to treat all of these interactions the same so that there are no misunderstandings, so that your product market fit is as good as possible for your first iteration or for your minimum viable product. I hope some of this was helpful, and I've made many of these mistakes myself. And one of my roles has been for the many years with non-technical founders is that to inform them, especially when I'm working with them, to not make these and many other mistakes. Hopefully this was helpful. What do you think? With your own experience, have you run into some other issues? Let me know. Thank you so much.